Hello and welcome back. We're looking at the Rogers Majestic RM776 once again, and today will be the day that we try to get this radio up and running. As you know from the previous video, this radio runs on batteries. There is two sections, two different parts of the battery power. One is a 1.5 volt DC rail, or whatever you want to call it, which can be powered by a 1.5 D or C cell battery. And the other component of the power supply is 90 volt DC, and these are the two plugs here that would attach to the old school 90 volt or 245 volt batteries. To that end, in order for me to get power on this radio, as you know, we're going to incorporate 10 of these 9 volt batteries. We're going to run them in series and tap the final positive and negative at the end of a 90 volt run when we connect all these batteries together, and I'll show you that in a moment. And we'll tap it into this, and we'll run the 1.5 into that. We have also a bunch of alligator clips and whatnot, so it's going to be kind of cumbersome. I do not want to destroy these original plugins, even though the wires have fallen off some of the components here. This one here is off of the 1.5, and the 90 volt rail, if you want to call it that, is pretty raggedy, but it looks like this one here is making a pretty negligible connection. So that's where we're to. We're going to see if we can get this radio running. I'm going to hook up the antenna section to my, I think I'm going to use the SWR, the short wave antenna, the 45 foot sloping end feed, and see if we can get this radio to tune in some short wave, actually power up, it's the key. Get it to power up properly, and then see if we can find some shortwave signals and some marine band signals, if it works and if it's not going to blow up. I don't know. This could be all for naught, and I could be destroying our radio, but stand by. Okay, as you can see, these 9 volt batteries I have here are all run in series. It's negative over here, the bigger female component of the battery, and the positive is here. We're going to test now to see how much voltage we have. We have the multimeter here on DC voltage. Negative over here and positive. Here we go. Okay, we have 97.2 volts. I'm thinking that might be too much to probably dump into this this radio. And I've been told that this radio will run down to 60 volts. So I'm going to take one of these batteries offline. Let's see what we have now. We should have about 10 less. Negative and positive. 87.4. That's a lot closer to 90 volts. So we're going to go with that. And of course, I have a C cell. I don't have a D cell, of course, but I have a C cell battery, and let's see what it says here. Make sure it's working. 1.6. Oh, I can't go any lower than one battery, so the 1.6 is going to have to do, and I'm sure that'll be fine. Okay, I get to set this up, and we'll be back once I get everything secure. The batteries don't seem to want to lock very well, so I have to kind of secure that and make sure everything's fine, and then we will power up this old radio here and see if it's going to work. This is the on-off button here, and volume. Wish me luck. Okay, I have everything hooked up. I have the heater battery, 1.5 volt DC, hooked up. That's for the heaters of the tubes. And I have the 9 volt batteries hooked up, negative on this side, positive this side. So everything is powered up. I've checked connections and they seem to be good. I've blocked off any bit of place where I could probably get some trouble, you know, with crossing the wires with some electrical tape. Taped it up. It's kind of in a precarious position. Not the safest situation right now, but if I'm very careful, everything should be fine. Turn off my meter here. Okay, here is the moment of truth. We have 87 volts going into the main part of the radio and 1.5 volts going into the heaters of the tubes. I am told that the radio will power up immediately. There's no warm-up, I guess. So, just to make sure the video is on, radio's in shot, batteries are in shot. The 1.5 is over here, you can't see it, but it's there. I wouldn't pan over because it's just a mess over there. So here we go. It's going to power up. I really don't want to destroy this radio, but at this stage of the game, what do you do? I'm going on some very good instruction from very talented people, so I'm hoping that this is going to work. There could be a fatal flaw with the radio, and perhaps it's not meant to work, but let's see. And I hear nothing. I'll turn up the volume. I'm going to turn off the lights and see if I see some running tubes back there. It's kind of bright in here, so it's hard to tell. Okay, just one moment. We're going to take the back off because it's too bright. It's daylight out here, and let's see what's going on. Okay, I've rechecked all the connections on the 1.5 volt rail and the 90 volt rail, which is actually 87.5 as we see. So we're going to try again. I have the back taken off. Just the back here, the back of the radio. Power it up, see if we can see any tubes glowing. And here we go. Absolutely nothing. I'll leave it on for a second. Maybe it's going to take a while to warm up, but I thought the tube should be glowing by now. But we will give it a moment. Absolutely nothing. Very interesting. We'll leave it on for a moment. But I think at this stage of the game, be ever so careful to move this. Try to get a back shot here for you. Although it's not much sense, but let's do it anyway. Carefully move the camera into the tube area. I know you can't see much, but that's the nothing. So that's a sad story for me. I was hoping this radio was going to function. Certainly getting the 87 volts on the main line and the 1.5 to the heaters. So it looks like the Rogers Majestic RM776 is dead in the water. It's not the outcome that I was hoping for. I was hoping to be able to test this radio and see if I could get shortwave and marine, and that's not going to be the case today. So I'm just going to cut this video short, recheck everything that I've done here, and but sad to say, no radio fired up today. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for maybe a sequel to this radio, or maybe I'll just be moving on. would appreciate your input on this, further input, although I think we've pretty well discussed it at length, and everything is done as it should be. So there we are. Have a good day.